Hello, folks. Welcome to another episode of The Authentic Coach, where we explore the art and science of coaching and authenticity. Today, we're diving into the topic often that stays in the background, but holds tremendous potential for personal and professional growth: spirituality. Hi, I'm Richard Fontenay, your host, and I've been a coach for over 50 years. Initially, I ran a bricks and mortar consulting and training firm with offices in Saskatchewan, Canada. And now I'm heavily engaged in operating an online coaching business. I write blogs and ebooks and have an e-zine dedicated to business, work, and life. And of course, I conduct podcasts on a regular basis. Now, enough about me. And before we get started, please remember to hit the subscribe button, and thank you for doing so. Now let's get on with the topic at hand. So put on your earphones, sit back and enjoy. If you are driving while listening, please take care out there. Your life really depends on it. Spirituality, it can be a delicate subject, often misunderstood or overlooked in coaching. Yet, when approached with respect and openness, it can enrich the coaching relationship, creating profound transformations for both the coach and the client. Now, whether you're a coach looking to deepen your practice or someone curious about the role of spirituality in personal development, this episode is for you. So, let's start this journey of discovering how spirituality can enhance your authenticity as a coach. Let's begin by understanding spirituality in a holistic fashion. Now, when we talk about spirituality, what comes to mind? For many, the term is often associated with religion or specific belief system. But spirituality is much broader than that. At its core, spirituality is about a sense of connection to oneself, to others, and to something greater, whether that's the universe, nature, or a higher power. For me, it's a divinity called God who exudes love and goodness. Now, it's about finding meaning and purpose and a sense of belonging in life. Spirituality isn't confined to rituals or dogma. It's about the inner journey of discovering who we are, and what we value, and how we fit into the world around us. For some, this might involve meditation or prayer. For others, it could be found in art, nature, or relationships. The key is that spirituality is deeply personal and unique to each individual. Now let's take a holistic view of spirituality. A holistic approach means looking at spirituality as something that permeates all aspects of lives: mental, emotional, physical, and social. It's not just about something that we tap into during specific moments, but a thread that runs through our thoughts, our actions, and our interactions. Consider how spirituality influences our mental well-being. Practices like mindfulness and meditation can help cultivate a calm and focused mind. Emotionally, spirituality can provide resilience and helping to navigate challenges with peace and purpose. Physically, spiritual practices can improve health through stress management and stress reduction and self-care. And socially, spiritually can enhance our relationships by fostering empathy, compassion, and a deeper connection with others. So why is it important for coaches to understand spirituality holistically? Well, because when we see spirituality as an integral part of who we are, it becomes a powerful tool for coaching. By acknowledging and embracing the spiritual dimension of our clients' lives, we can help them tap into a deeper source of motivation, clarity, and fulfillment. So whether your client is seeking to overcome a challenge, make a significant life change, or find more meaning in their daily life, spirituality can provide a solid foundation for their growth. As coaches, when we understand and honor this aspect of their journey, we're better equipped to guide them toward authentic, lasting transformations. So in summary, spirituality is more than a belief system. It's a way of being. By understanding spirituality holistically, we can approach our coaching practice with greater depth and with deeper sensitivity, opening the door to profound personal and professional growth for both ourselves and our clients. So how do we actually bring spirituality into our coaching practice in a way that feels authentic and impactful? Well, it starts with integrating spiritual practices that resonate with both you and your clients. For example, mindfulness exercises can help clients become more present and aware of their thoughts and emotions. Now, this might involve simple breathing exercises, guided meditations, or even moments of silence during a session to allow for reflection. Journaling is another powerful tool. Encouraging clients to keep a journal of their thoughts, their feelings, and experiences can help them connect with their inner selves, gain clarity, and track their spiritual growth over time. Reflective questions like, what gives your life meaning? Or what values guide your decisions? These can prompt deep, spiritually centered conversations that lead to profound insights. One of the most important aspects of fostering spirituality in coaching is creating a safe, non-judgmental space where clients feel comfortable exploring their spiritual topics. Now, not everyone is open to discussing spirituality, and that's okay. The goal is to clarify that your coaching practice is a place where all aspects of your being are welcome, including your spiritual side. Start by being open about your own comfort with spiritual topics and inviting your clients to share their perspectives without pressure or expectations. Let them lead the way in how much or how little they want to delve into spirituality. By honoring their pace and their preferences, you build trust and respect in the coaching relationship. Now, as coaches, our own spiritual growth plays a crucial role in how effectively we can foster spirituality in our clients. It's important to engage in your own spiritual practice, whatever that might look like, whether it's meditation, centering prayer, spending time in nature, or simply reflecting on your values and your purpose. This grounds you and models authenticity and openness for your clients. Connected to your own spiritual center, you're better equipped to guide others on their journey. You bring a sense of calm, presence, and empathy to your coaching sessions, which can profoundly impact the client's experience. Plus, your spiritual practice can provide insights and inspirations that enrich your coaching approach. In practical terms, consider starting your sessions with a brief mindfulness exercise to help you and your client center yourself. You might also weave in reflective questions that touch on spiritual themes, such as exploring a client's sense of purpose or the deeper meaning behind their goals. Remember, the aim is not to impose spirituality, but to offer it as a resource to enhance their growth. This is an excellent kind of practice to get into. When you begin to start engaging people in spiritual themes, one of the things I found when we start to get into a sense of purpose or the values that one might hold, this opens the door to a floodgate of spiritual thinking and spiritual content. So incorporating spirituality in coaching enriches the journey for both ourselves as a coach and the client. By embracing spiritual practices, creating a safe space, and engaging in your own spiritual growth, you lay the groundwork for a coaching relationship that's not only effective, but deeply transformative. Now, what are some of the challenges in integrating spiritual growth into coaching? And there could be many. Now, one of the first challenges you might encounter when integrating spirituality into coaching is client resistance. Now, not everyone is comfortable with or open to discussing spiritual matters, and we must approach that with a great deal of sensitivity. Some clients may associate spirituality with religion or have negative experiences respecting their contact with religion, particularly if they associate spirituality with religion, or prefer to keep aspects of spirituality private. Others may feel that spirituality isn't relevant to their goals or don't see its value. Now, it's crucial to respect where your client is coming from, because enforcing spiritual concepts into the conversation can really backfire, leading to a great deal of discomfort or even a breakdown in trust. Instead, it's about gently introducing the idea and observing the client's response. Now, if there's resistance, it's essential to pivot and focus on the areas where they feel more comfortable. We'll talk about this a little later when we give an example. Another challenge is maintaining clear boundaries regarding spirituality and coaching. Now, as coaches, we must be careful not to impose our own beliefs or practices on our clients. It's easy to get caught up in what has worked for us and what we find meaningful. But it's mindful to remember that each client's spiritual journey is unique. This means being mindful of our language and ensuring that any spiritual practices or discussions are client-led rather than coach-driven. It's also important to be clear about the role of spirituality in the coaching relationship, setting expectations early on about how these topics might be explored, and always seeking the client's consent. Now, our personal beliefs and biases can also pose a challenge when integrating spirituality into coaching. Whether we know it or not, our worldview influences how we approach spiritual topics. This can lead to unintentionally steering conversations in a direction that aligns with our own beliefs rather than those of our clients. For instance, although I mentioned my preference earlier about the touch of the divine within, I don't lead with this. I let my clients lead with their understanding of spirituality and take it from there. You know, it's not my role to impose, but to understand and to uncover. Now, self-awareness is key to navigating this. Regularly reflecting on your own spiritual beliefs and how they might influence your coaching can help you stay neutral and open-minded. It's also helpful to seek feedback from peers or mentors, especially when you're dealing with complex spiritual issues. This outside perspective can provide valuable insights in how you're handling these topics. Another challenge is finding the right balance between spiritual growth and other aspects of coaching. Now, while spirituality can be a powerful tool, it's only one part of the holistic approach to personal development. It's important to integrate spirituality to complement other coaching strategies, such as goal setting, accountability, and skills development. The challenge here is to ensure that spiritual discussion doesn't overshadow the practical, action-oriented side of coaching. Clients come to coaching with specific goals, and it's our job to help them achieve those goals while nurturing their spiritual growth. So striking this balance requires careful planning and flexibility in your coaching approach. Finally, there's cultural and religious sensitivities, and these can present real challenges for us. Now, spirituality, as I mentioned, is a deeply personal and often intertwined with cultural and religious beliefs. What is meaningful and appropriate in one culture or belief system may not be in another culture or belief system. And as coaches, we must be culturally aware and sensitive to these differences. This might mean educating ourselves about different spiritual and religious practices, or simply asking the clients to share what spirituality means to them. We can avoid misunderstandings and create a more inclusive and supportive coaching environment by approaching each client with curiosity and a handful and a bucketful of respect. In summary, while integrating spirituality into coaching offers incredible opportunities for growth, it comes with challenges. We can navigate these challenges by being aware of potential client resistance, maintaining boundaries, managing personal biases, balancing spirituality with other coaching elements, and addressing cultural sensitivities. Well, the goal is to foster a coaching relationship that honors the spiritual dimensions of clients while remaining respectful, inclusive, and aligned with their unique needs and beliefs. Now let's further our discussion in looking at several strategies to overcome these challenges. The first strategy is one of the most effective ways for overcoming challenges in integrating spirituality into coaching is prioritizing open communications. Now, establish an open dialogue about the role of spirituality in your coaching practice from the beginning. And remember, there's a huge difference between a dialogue and a discussion. And dialogue really means that you're entering into the person's world and trying to understand it. Whereas discussion often becomes, I've got something to say and you have something to say. And we butt up against each other. Now ask your clients how they feel about incorporating spiritual elements and whether they have any concerns or preferences. Now this helps build trust and ensures that you're on the same page from the very beginning. During sessions, check in regularly to see how the client responds to spiritual discussions and spiritual dialogue. Now, if you sense hesitation or discomfort, don't be afraid to address it directly. And you can do this by keeping the lines of communication open as you navigate any kind of resistance or concerns with sensitivity. And again, here's that word, respect. Another key strategy is to tailor your approach to each individual client. Now, just as in every client's coaching needs are unique, so are their spiritual beliefs and practices. It's important to customize how you introduce and explore spirituality based on the client's background, preferences, and goals. For some clients, a direct approach to spirituality might be welcomed, while others might prefer a more subtle and indirect approach. For instance, if a client's uncomfortable with the term spirituality, you might focus on themes like purpose, values, or mindfulness. The idea is to meet the client where they are at and using language and practices that resonate with them personally. Now, I often used this approach in the past and then waited for an opening to discuss spirituality. And this has served me well. Number 3, as coaches, our ability to integrate spirituality effectively into our practice really depends on our continuous learning and growth. Now, this means staying informed about different spiritual traditions, practices, and perspectives. It also involves ongoing self-reflection to understand how our beliefs might influence our coaching experience. So engage in professional development opportunities related to spirituality and coaching, such as workshops and courses or conferences. Learning from other coaches who have successfully integrated spirituality into their practice can provide valuable insights and strategies. Additionally, reading widely on spiritual topics can broaden your own understanding and enhance your ability to connect with clients on a deeper level. And number 4, when navigating the complexities of spirituality and coaching, seeking supervision or mentorship can be incredibly beneficial. A mentor or a supervisor who is experienced in integrating spirituality into coaching can provide guidance, feedback, and support. They can help you reflect on your practice, offer alternative approaches, and share their experiences of overcoming similar challenges. Supervision also provides a safe space to discuss difficulties that you may encounter, whether it's client resistance, boundary issues, or personal biases. So regularly engaging with a mentor or a supervisor can enhance your confidence and competence in handling spiritual topics with sensitivity and professionalism. And number 5, flexibility and adaptability are essential when integrating spirituality into coaching. Now, each client's journey is different, as I mentioned. What works for one person might not work for another. So be prepared to adjust your approach as you learn more about your client's needs and their preferences. This might mean scaling back on spiritual discussions if a client seems uncomfortable, or it could involve exploring new spiritual practices that align more closely with their beliefs. Now, this is key to remain, the key then is to remain responsive to the client's evolving needs and to be willing to shift gears when it's necessary. Flexibility also means opening up yourselves to feedback and making adjustments based on the client's experience and on the coaching process itself. And number 6, a client-centered approach is fundamental to overcoming challenges in integrating spirituality into coaching. Now, this means placing the client's needs and values and goals at the heart of every session. And that's what we essentially try to do in any kind of coaching. But by doing so, you ensure that spirituality is introduced to support the client's overall growth and well-being. And number 7, use active listening and reflective questioning techniques to explore the client's spiritual beliefs and experiences. So encourage them to share their thoughts and feelings and validate their perspective without judgment. By creating a client-centered environment, you really empower the client to take ownership of their spiritual journey and to integrate it into their personal development in a way that feels authentic to them. And number 8, building a network of resources can help you overcome challenges and when you're integrating spirituality into your coaching practice. And this could include, as I mentioned earlier, a network of other coaches, spiritual advisors, one of which I always turn to, or therapists specializing in different spiritual aspects. Now, having a resource network allows you to refer clients to additional support if necessary and if needed, or to consult with experts on specific spiritual issues. Now, I remember a client who is really interested in developing his career, but his career began to take on a different shift, and it was primarily a shift in the area of missionary work and spiritual development for himself. And in that case, I went as far as I could go with him, called in a spiritual advisor to work with him. Now, I continued on the coaching on the coaching direction that we had explored, but I also referred him to a spiritual advisor that could deal with his specific concern about missionary work. Now, here's something else. I think you need to really compile a list of books and articles and online resources related to spirituality and coaching, and they can provide you and your clients with valuable information and inspiration. Now, sharing these resources can demonstrate your commitment to their spiritual growth and give them the tools to explore spirituality outside of the coaching sessions themselves. Now, I include a couple of those resources below. So in conclusion, integrating spirituality into coaching presents unique challenges, but these can be effectively managed with the right strategies. You can confidently navigate these challenges by fostering open communication, tailoring your approach, committing to continuous learning, seeking supervision, being flexible, using client-centered techniques, and building a strong resource network. The result is a coaching practice that is holistic and inclusive and deeply transformative for you and your clients. Now let's take a look at a few real-life cases. Let's start with a case that illustrates how integrating spirituality into coaching can lead to profound personal transformation. Now, as always, the names of the people identified are changed for confidential reasons. Meet Sarah, a mid-career professional who came to coaching feeling stuck and was unfulfilled in her job. And despite achieving many of her career goals, she felt a deep dissatisfaction and struggled to find meaning in her work. In this case, she was involved in a marketing agency. And during our initial discussion, it became clear that Sarah was searching for something much greater, something beyond the material success that she had received. Now, I gently introduced the concept of exploring the spiritual values and beliefs of her beliefs to uncover what was truly important for her. Sarah was open to this idea, and so she began incorporating mindfulness practices and reflective strategies, exercises that focused on her sense of purpose and a connection to the world around her. Over time, Sarah started reconnecting with her core values centered around creativity, service, and community work. She realized that her job, while lucrative, and it was lucrative, wasn't aligned with her own values. And this spiritual exploration led her to a significant career change. She transitioned into a role that allowed her to express her creativity and to contribute to her community, which brought her a renewed sense of fulfillment and joy. Now, Sarah's journey is a powerful example of how spiritual growth can guide clients toward meaningful changes. By integrating spirituality into our coaching, we are able to uncover deeper motivations to help Sarah align her career with her true self, resulting in a more authentic and a satisfying life. Now, here's another example. This is a case where integrating spirituality in coaching presented some challenges. It's a story about John. John was a high-performing executive, and he sought coaching to improve his leadership skills and reduce stress. Now, from our early conversations, it was clear that John was very analytical and focused on tangible results. He expressed skepticism about anything that seemed soft, that we would call soft or unscientific, including spirituality. Now, understanding John's perspective, I approached the topic of spirituality with caution. Instead of introducing it directly, I started with mindfulness and stress reduction techniques backed by research. We focused on practices like deep breathing, progressive relaxation, and short mindful exercises to help him manage his stress and improve his focus. We talked about the japa method as an example, about how we can, in a very few minutes, pull back, relax, and move forward. Now, as John became more comfortable with these practices and began to see the benefits, I gently introduced the idea of exploring his deeper values and a sense of purpose. But I framed it in terms of leadership effectiveness and personal resilience. So by connecting spirituality to something John valued, his leadership role, I was able to help him explore these concepts without triggering resistance. And eventually, John became more open to discussing topics like meaning and purpose, which led to deeper insights into his motivation and goals. While we didn't delve deeply into the traditional spiritual practices, we were able to incorporate elements that resonated with John's values and beliefs. And that led him to a more well-rounded approach to his personal and professional growth. Now, these two cases highlight different aspects of integrating spirituality into coaching. In Sarah's case, we opened how a client's, we suggested how a client's openness to spiritual exploration can lead to profound transformation, aligning their life and work with their deeper values. And for John, the challenge was navigating resistance. But by framing spirituality in a way that connected with his goals, we could introduce meaningful concepts without causing John a great deal of discomfort or resistance. Now, the key takeaway from these examples is the importance of meeting clients where they are. Whether a client is eager to explore spirituality or is more resistant, it's our job as it's our job as a coach to tailor our approach to their unique needs and perspectives. And by doing so, we can help them unlock more profound insights and achieve a more fulfilling, authentic life. So in summary, real-life cases like these can demonstrate the power of integrating spirituality into coaching, guiding clients through transformative journey or gently introducing spiritual concepts to enhance their personal growth and development. The stories remind us of the importance of sensitivity, adaptability, and client-centered approaches to our coaching practice. Now, as we bring today's episode to a close, let's take a moment to recap the key points we've covered. We began by exploring what spirituality means in a holistic sense. Understanding spirituality as a deep connection to oneself, to others, and to the world around us. We then discussed how fostering spirituality and coaching can lead to profound personal and professional growth. And we looked at some of the practical ways to integrate spiritual practices in your sessions. We also discussed the challenges of introducing spirituality into coaching, whether it's a client's resistance, maintaining boundaries, navigating cultural sensitivities, or other resistant areas. But as we explored in our discussion on strategies, these challenges can be effectively managed and with open communication, tailored approaches, continuous learning, and a client-centered mindset. Now, our real-life case studies provided concrete examples of how spirituality can either be a transformative force or something that requires careful, nuanced handling and ability to ensure that what we're really doing is seeing the client as the key in all of this. So Sarah's journey showed us the power of aligning one's life and work with spiritual values, while John's case demonstrated how even clients who are initially resistant can benefit from a subtle and tailored introduction to spiritual concepts. So ultimately, integrating spirituality into your coaching practice is about enhancing the depth and authenticity of the coaching relationship itself. It's about recognizing and honoring the whole person, their values and beliefs and aspirations, and guiding them toward a more meaningful and fulfilling life. And as coaches, we need to embrace this dimension of growth and open the door to more meaningful and more impactful coaching experiences. Now, whether you're just beginning to explore the role of spirituality in your coaching or you're looking to deepen your practice, remember that every client's journey is unique. And our role is to support, guide, and empower them. And always do it with respect, sensitivity, and an open heart. And to help you get started, I've created a downloadable checklist that includes tips on improving your spiritual coaching practice. And you can find that in the description below. Be sure to check it out. Now, thank you for joining us on this insightful journey into the intersection of spirituality and coaching. We hope today's episode has inspired you to explore new dimensions in your practice and providing you with practical strategies to integrate spirituality in a way that resonates with you and with your client. Now, we'd love to hear from you. If you found value in today's episode, share your thoughts, your experiences, or questions on our social media channels or in the comments below. Now, if you are going to contact me on social media, make sure you identify that you listen to this podcast. And if you're interested in delving deeper into these coaching topics, let me know. And also, stay tuned for more episodes where we continue to explore the many facets of authentic coaching. Now, in our next episode, we'll discuss coaching virtually. You won't want to miss that one. So until next Wednesday, keep growing, keep exploring, and keep bringing your authentic self to every coaching conversation. Now, this is Richard Fontenay, reminding you that the journey to authenticity is one of the most rewarding paths that you can take as a coach and as a human being. See you in the next episode of The Authentic Coach, Coaching Virtually. In the meantime, keep journeying to your best self as you uncover your true self. Bye for now.